If you regularly travel with a large family, your options usually involve rows of hard plastic and cramped legroom. But there is a way to upgrade from a standard minivan into something that feels like a private VIP lounge. To find it, you have to look overseas to the Japanese domestic market. This is the Nissan Elgrand E51. It pairs a large V6 engine with an interior wrapped in premium materials. A brand new domestic family hauler easily crosses the $40,000 mark. Because these Elgrands are older, imported models, you can often pick one up for a fraction of that price. This matrix compares purchase cost against luxury features. Most vehicles follow a predictable diagonal path, but the Elgrand lands in the bottom right corner, high luxury, low cost. However, buying an aging imported van introduces hidden compromises that routinely catch new buyers off guard. Taking advantage of this massive discount requires a proactive owner. If you buy this expecting a standard plug-and-play minivan experience, you will quickly find yourself owning a massive money pit. The primary reason people take the import risk is the rear cabin. It's built for scale and flexibility, prioritizing passenger comfort over raw cargo hauling. The middle row features individual captain's chairs. They slide on long rails, recline, and can completely swivel around to face the third row. That third row is also unique. Instead of folding flat into the floor, the seats fold up and latch securely against the sidewalls of the van. The biggest trade-off here is cargo width. With those seats pinned against the glass, you lose significant horizontal storage space compared to a modern stow-and-go design. There's also an important legal trade-off. While those swiveling middle seats are great for camping or parked meetings, in fact, many Western countries legally require all passengers to face forward while the vehicle is actually in motion. When seated, rear passengers have complete control over their environment, with their own dedicated dual-zone climate controls and buttons to operate the remote power doors. Some trim levels even include automated fabric privacy curtains that slide completely shut at the push of a button, darkening the cabin for sleeping. The Elgrand gives rear passengers absolute autonomy. However, you are relying on 15-year-old electronic modules, like the roof-mounted control panel. If one fuse blows or a wire degrades, you can lose your curtains, sunroof, and rear climate control all at once. That aging tech problem is most obvious up front, starting with the factory Nissan Car Wings infotainment system. On paper, the specs hold up well today. Many models feature a 9-speaker Bose audio setup with a dedicated subwoofer in the rear, paired with a drop-down screen in the roof. The reality of using it is very different. The factory GPS navigation relies on Japanese map discs. Outside of Japan, it will either display a blank screen or a random arrow floating in empty space. The menus are locked in Japanese text, and the DVD player uses NTSC region coding, meaning it simply will not read standard DVDs purchased in Europe or Australia. To make the van usable daily, you have to remove the factory head unit entirely and install an aftermarket double-din stereo system. This graphic shows the difference. On the left is the cluttered factory screen. On the right, a modern unit running Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Upgrading isn't as simple as swapping a radio. You have to source a specific JDM replacement fascia panel to make the unit fit the dashboard. And you need custom wiring harnesses to ensure your steering wheel controls and the rear roof screen continue to function. You have to write off the factory infotainment out of the box. Mentally add $500 to $1,000 to your initial purchase price to get the technology up to modern standards. Moving under the hood, the E51 is powered by Nissan's 3.5-liter V235DE V6 engine. This is a proven, capable block. It is the exact same engine Nissan used to power the 350Z sports car during the same era. In a heavy van, that V6 provides effortless highway passing power, even with 8 passengers inside. And if you find a model equipped with the switchable 4-wheel drive option, you can easily navigate wet grass and boggy campsites. The penalty for moving 2 tons of metal with a sports car engine is fuel consumption. Owners routinely average a painful 20 to 25 miles per gallon. But fuel costs are minor compared to the existential threat lurking in the exhaust system, the quad catalytic converter setup. This schematic shows the mechanical layout. Coming off the V6 engine, there are 4 separate catalytic converters, 2 primary cats positioned up front and 2 secondary cats further back. Over years of aggressive heat cycles, the ceramic honeycomb material inside the two primary catalytic converters becomes brittle and starts to break apart into dust and debris. As the exhaust pulses, back pressure creates a vacuum effect. It sucks that abrasive ceramic dust backward, straight up the exhaust manifold and directly into the engine cylinders, scoring the walls and destroying the motor completely. To safely own this van, there is a mandatory day one fix. Before driving it regularly, you must pay a mechanic to either hollow out the cores of those front primary cats or bypass them entirely. The Elgrand only serves as a budget family hauler if you budget for this preventative exhaust surgery up front. Ignoring the primary cats is a guaranteed path to replacing the entire engine. If you're browsing the import market, the Elgrand isn't your only option. Its most direct rival is the Toyota Alphard, a van with a slightly better reputation for long-term reliability. Deciding between an import van or staying domestic comes down to matching the vehicle's quirks with how you actually travel. This logic map outlines the choice. Starting at the top, do you need a family hauler? If you prioritize fuel economy, plug-and-play technology, and have zero desire to modify an exhaust system, your path is a domestic minivan, or the Toyota Alphard. But if you want massive interior flexibility, strong V6 power, and you are willing to invest the time and money into that day one preventative maintenance, the Nissan Elgrand is the clear winner. It offers a level of space and comfort that modern equivalents charge a massive premium for. It is the ultimate VIP road trip machine, as long as you are proactive enough to keep it running safely.